Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming the 10 baby names we love but won't be using tag. This tag I actually am probably going to end up having doing a part 2 because there are still more names that we love and won't be using. I'm not going to be having 20 kids, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to be doing 5 boy names and 5 girl names. And I have a little companion today, so you may see an appearance. Did I put that picture in your face? Yay! This is Cal, this is my little boy, and he is with me because he woke up a little too early from his nap. So he's filming today. So the first boy name that we love but won't be using is Emmett. This was supposed to be Cal's middle name. It was going to be Cal Emmett, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but when I was growing up and whenever I got in trouble, my mom always said Morgan Elizabeth, and I knew that meant serious business. And so I always pictured like saying Cal's name when he was in trouble. And so I would always sit there and say Cal Emmett, but it never came out that way. It always came out as Cal Edward, which is my husband's dad's name, and that's what we decided to go with. I ultimately looked over at him one day and just said Cal Edward, and he had tears in his eyes and was so happy. So we decided not to go with Emmett, and we thought for a while that that would be a name that we would use as a first name later on, but ultimately I don't think that it will flow with the other names that we have picked. The second name that we love but won't be using is Logan. Now, my husband really liked this name and still would probably vote Logan if we had another boy. For those of you who don't know, Hulk, it's like his real name was Logan, and if Cal's named after Superman, Kal-El is his birth name. Yes, I'm married to a comic book nerd and I love him. But I actually just know too many people that are naming their babies Logan. There were 2 boys that were born in August that I know were named Logan. I have a friend whose husband is named Logan, and so as much as we love it, I don't think we'll use it. The next name that we love but won't be using is Clayton. Clayton was another name that we had considered for Cal, and it was originally, his name was going to be Clayton Cal. But I knew I wanted to call him Cal, and so it didn't really make sense. We loved it with Cal, but I don't think we would use it with anything else. The next name that we love but won't be using is Ben, specifically Benny. I just love that name. Not necessarily Benjamin, but Benny. And my husband didn't feel the same way about it. The Sandlot is my favorite movie, and Benny the Jet Rodriguez is the reason why I love that name so much, but couldn't get him on board with that. And the last name that we love but won't be using is Sullivan. I thought of this recently. I really liked it. My grandma actually grew up in Sullivan, Indiana, and she passed away before we had Cal, a couple of years before. And I thought it would be a really nice way to honor her. Jason was not a big fan of it, and I don't think that I'll sell him on it. And the more that I kind of said it, we already have a huge long last name. Our last name is Bertisevich, and it just sounded like it was going to be the longest name ever. So we're gonna skip Sullivan. Now on to the girl names. The first girl name that we love but won't be using is Monroe. My husband actually was the one who first heard this, and he really, really liked it. And if we weren't so set on the girl name that we have, we probably would use this one. And if not this one, then the next one for sure. But we love Monroe. I loved Marilyn Monroe when I was growing up, but we won't be using the name Monroe. The next name that we love but won't be using is a name that I thought for sure I was going to use until I thought of the other name, and that is McKenna. I love this name. I've always loved this name. Jason actually knew a boy named McKenna, and so he was not as on board with it as I was, but once we picked our other name, McKenna kind of went out the doors. You wanna say hi? Yeah. The next name, if we have a little sister that we won't be using, is Jaylee. Jason came up with Jaylee, and originally we said Jayla, and then we were talking and we said Jaylee, and we loved it. We thought that was the name for 2 years. We talked about Jaylee because originally we were going to name him something with a J also, and then Jason, J. I was the only one left out. I wasn't happy about being left out, big yawn. See, you needed that now. Ultimately, I just fell in love with the other name that we picked, and so as much as we do love Jaylee, it's just not a name that we'll probably use unless for some reason we had 2 girls, but if we had a girl next, I don't think that we would go for a 3rd. Maybe, but maybe not. Next name that we love for a girl but won't be using, I love, but my husband wasn't as sold on, and that is the name Sawyer. I actually really like Sawyer for both a boy and a girl, but I just think, did you just burp? I just think it's such a pretty name. I love it, and I would still try to convince my husband to use this in the future, maybe for a boy. Last name for a girl that we love but we won't be using is Dallas. We are huge Dallas Cowboys fans, and I actually had a dog named Dallas growing up, but I love the name and I think it is so cute for a girl. I know it can work for a boy also, but I just think it's so cute for a girl. But it would break my father-in-law's heart if we named our daughter Dallas, because he is a huge San Francisco 49er fan along with the rest of my husband's family. So Dallas went out the door, but I absolutely love that name. So those are all the names that I'm gonna go over today. Like I said, I'm probably gonna do a part 2 of this video because there are still quite a few names that we love but won't be using. If you like my little video partner here, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. He's going to be making an appearance in quite a few more videos, and I'd love to have you here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.